And welcome back, everybody, to episode 22 of The Lookout. My name is Meelz. I'm here with the Platinum Chanel boy himself, Jeff.
Hey, finale.
What's up, my guy? Yeah, we out here. We're at the finale of the Buu Saga. We're finale of season 3. We're at the finale of everything. Like, what's going on?
This? We were just talking about off air, like how many episodes we've done, in the past few months, and it's just like it's been awesome.
It's been awesome. You know what? I'm glad we get to continue this arc. You know what? I feel like this is something. To me, this is always just like evergreen content. Because Dragon Ball is going to be popping forever. For as long as I live, I think
you're absolutely right. And we still have even if whenever we decide whatever we do next, I mean, there's so much things we can jump to, so many different movies and just different stuff that nobody really gets to talk about, GT, all that type of stuff. So there's still a lot of content. We're getting more, obviously.
Right. We're highly.
I just want to make sure we
What's up?
Right. Well, I want to just touch some base before they hit us with Super's coming back, and then you know what I'm saying, and then we're watching new Super.
So here's how I feel about when I think Super won't be back until at least 6 months after this movie comes out. I feel like they're gonna.
I feel like end of 2019. I'm thinking fall 2019 myself.
I feel like I'm assuming they've already. I don't know if they're still working on the movie.
I don't know. I gotta assume it's gotta be pretty set. If I know,
listen, the world of anime and the world of just cartoon things, I'm assuming they've already plotted out everything that's going to happen for the next part of Super. They've already, we know what arcs we're going to go with. We know what villains we're going to go with. They've already started I'm so sure they've already started storyboarding and figuring out what they're going to do next for Super, which I'm anticipating.
Oh, you already know. I'm most excited about that. I'm probably more excited about Super than the Broly movie at the moment. I really want Super to come back.
I miss the excitement, man. Listen,
even if it's filler episodes here and there, I just want to watch new stuff.
The excitement that was at the top of the year when Super was here and it was live and in charge and it was all over the timeline and everyone was watching it and blah blah blah. That's what I want back. I want the world to be invested in Dragon Ball again. I don't want necessarily just we're getting content. I can't complain, but I want more. I want something new. I want that real.
I mean, we've kept them. If things have been down for people in Dragon Ball Z, I feel like we've kept them. We gave them some good content to go rewatch the Buu Saga and Cell games and all that while things have been down. So I think we've helped keep this thing going, man.
If there's any latest news about the movie, I think most of the latest news about the movie regards around there's shots of the planet, Planet Vegeta. Yeah,
more shots of Vegeta in red.
Right. Vegeta in red was big news, man. That shit was beautiful. So more shots of the home planet. What else is news? There was
Gogeta rumors.
Gogeta. I don't believe it.
I'm not saying I do either. I just think it was just
it's nice
that
considering
that was rumored.
Considering I think it's been 20 years since we first seen Gogeta and no one has ever seen him in his base form until today.
Yeah. I'm actually looking at that right now.
I think that is a good tip off of what's going on, but I don't think they do Gogeta in the movie.
You don't think so?
I don't know.
I think it's possible. I mean,
they want to make Gogeta canon. Maybe they're done with Vegito because Vegito's the anime thing. Vegeta is the anime series guy. We don't have time for them to do the dance. The dance belongs to the kids. But them doing it in.
I'm not saying it's gonna happen. Remember my dream I told you I had?
No, please go ahead.
You remember? I don't remember it fully anyway. I texted to you. I have to look at it again. Remember I told you it was the movie, it was the Broly movie, but Goku and Vegeta had fused together, but it was Gogeta, and he was red. Remember I told you?
You did definitely tell me this.
And he was red Gogeta.
Listen, you're not the only one who had a dream about Dragon Ball, which I think means that we're doing this way, way, way too much.
Oh yeah, you did say that.
I had a dream about fucking XXX Tentacion being reincarnated.
Oh
like,
my god, bro!
And I was just like,
dude,
what is going on?
And we next had level, man.
And I'm just like, bro, this is way too much. Like, we've been doing this for way too long. But thank you.
I'm not sure. I don't think Gogeta's gonna. Rumors are rumors.
Rumors are rumors. Who knows? There's also saying there will be no Ultra Instinct in this movie,
which I kind of thought I think it would be too early to bring it back anyways. I think if anything, it's gotta be something dramatic. So I'd want like.
But this is as dramatic as it gets, man. Like this may be the most strongest thing that he's ever faced because.
Yeah, but I want to see like a Spirit Bomb. I want to see Spirit Bomb back. I just want to see something of that nature to bring down Broly.
We got Spirit Bombs in this episode. We've got a whole bunch of different things, man. But you know what? I don't know how they beat Broly. How did they beat Broly in the original movie? Did they like throw him into the sun or something? I forget.
I don't remember.
I feel
I'm not watching those movies until we get closer to the big movie.
Well, next weekend, if you're into it, actually this weekend coming up, they're showing Dragon Ball Z.
Wasn't that the big Kamehameha? They had like.
Yes,
it
was.
Yes, it was Goten, like... Gohan,
and Goku. Vegeta gave some power. No, I think Vegeta refused to give power. What an asshole. But if you're around this weekend, trust me, let me know. They are showing Dragon Ball Z Broly, the legendary Super Saiyan, the original movie, this weekend, September 15th and Monday, September 17th in theaters. So you can go with about 8 other people because that's how much I imagine the amount of people that would be in the theater to watch this.
It'd still be an okay time to go, though. It'd be a good time.
I mean, it's a matinee. Yeah.
If you're just into Dragon Ball Z and you're trying to get prepared for the film, I mean, this is a nice little way.
I bought tickets to the My Hero Academia thing. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure there's no one going to be in the theater.
I guarantee you're going to see somebody, bro.
Nah, I'm sure of it. Like, when I went to go reserve tickets, like, there's reserve seating. All the seats were open, bro.
I always look at the reserve seating, too.
I was just like, yo, this is wild. But you know what? I'm for it. I don't care. I'm going alone.
Yeah, I've been in theater. I mean, I've go to the movies by myself a good bit. But like 9 times out of 10, I'm going to movies by myself, and I enjoy when the theater is just me. Like if it's something I just forgot to see, and it's been like a month, and I go in to check it out, and nobody's in there, it's like such a good time to me. So
it's a good time. Kick your feet up. You can run. The movie's over. You don't got a thing against nobody. You can run to the bathroom, come back real quick. Like all types of shit, man. Listen, enjoy yourself. Love yourself. Treat yourself. How about that?
Yeah. Well, I'm the lonely one. I'm the one, with nobody. So
all right.
I need
okay.
Those.
All right. I don't believe you. We don't believe you. You need more people, my guy. You will not be along for much longer because next week RSPN will be back. So you will have Mark as your buddy. Talking about the world of sports, moving in as the NBA season starts.
Are gonna have a really good time, Meelz, because we had already spoken and we both have had shitty summers. Mm-hmm. Like we both talked to each other about how shitty our summers were. So it's gonna be a fun episode. The first episode is gonna be must listen. Like it's gonna be great.
It's gonna be great, man. You know what? We've talked about Super. We talked about the Super movie. We're all anticipating for it. Stay tuned for keep locked in. Even though this is the season finale of The Lookout, stay locked into us because we're gonna be giving stuff away. Yeah. We're gonna have special.
We're not done.
Yeah, we're not.
This isn't the series finale.
Especially once the movie starts getting closer, things will get very, very exciting. We have stuff planned that we want to,
And of course, if something dope leaks, and
we're in there like swimwear, like don't even second guess it.
It doesn't take long. I mean, we've gotten tweets before, like, "Hey, you guys gonna jump on and do an emergency podcast?" Like, so if you guys end up wanting us to talk about something that ends up leaking, or just news that happens, let us know.
They are anticipating possibly a second trailer to drop at the New York Comic Con.
I'm sure that's gonna happen
next weekend. So that should be fun. Quite honestly,
I think we'll see that Red Vegeta clear, and we'll see some other things. I think it's that trailer.
Let's see. Let us see. I mean, we had the good minute-long trailer last time, so you know what? Let's see. If it drops, we're there. Just know,
100%.
At the drop of a dime, we're back. But let's get into the finale of this Buu Saga. This entire thing, dude, man.
Can I say something?
Sure.
It's been a great time. Obviously, I love talking about Dragon Ball Z. I am really glad we're done with Buu Saga.
Really?
I am, man. This was a lot to watch. One, like, for the listeners, if you guys were watching this saga for the first time or for the 10th time, whatever, I'm sure you know just as much as we know how much is in this. And we've said it throughout, these past episodes, like how filling the Buu Saga is. But the good parts are good. Mm-hmm. So I respect it, but yes, it is a lot. It's a lot.
Well, listen, I know you're glad that this is the end, because this is the last time this season you will have to compete in Last Time on the Lookout. Jeff, are you ready?
I'm not, but
Last Time on the Lookout. Let's see.
We're not, but I'm not, but let's do it.
You know what? I'm gonna fire up the timer right now.
All right. Let's see. Okay, let's do this.
I'm gonna fire up, and we're about to play Last Time on the Lookout. Jeff, go. Last Time on the Lookout.
Vegeta was born. Goku ends up hiding Super Saiyan 3 from Vegeta. Vegeta's kind of pissy about that. I think he has the right to be. They go through this weird circumstance inside of Majin Buu's body, fighting antibodies, all this crazy stuff. They release some fellow Absorb Z fighters as well. Earth gets blown up by Kid Buu. Supreme...
Listen, you got most of it. I
know. I was trying to hit my sections.
Listen, you about to talk about Supreme Kai. I'm like, you don't know that. You don't even know. My man Kibito Kai, he is chilling. He's got his long flowing hair. It is what it is. But we are finally back to talk about the Buu Saga. We are going to talk about the conclusion of this all. Now, before we get into just the events that sort of happened, how do you feel about the just overall fight between Kid Buu and Goku? Because to me, it's one of the more fun fights.
It's the one that matters to me. I enjoy Kid Buu. Mm-hmm. I say it a lot. I think it's a great character. I think he's probably, the more reckless, dangerous Buu.
Right.
It's definitely like the all the Boos. They're clearly all villains, but they have this playful need, and I think because Kid Buu is a kid, the appeal of the character is just, it's almost like Teen Gohan did so well.
Right.
So it's just like, let's get another powerful, quote unquote, kid out here to do all the work.
My God. To me, this fight was one of the more, if there's any fight through this entire arc, and we did see Goku versus Vegeta at some point, and it was a very intense fight. I think this fight more so, to me, was one of the actual, like, an actual battle, not only an actual battle, but an actual battle with a result. Mm-hmm. Despite all the, the theatrics that happened in between, with like Vegeta popping in and Mr. Satan and then him spitting out Fat Buu and all this other stuff. To me, this was an actual fight. Like, for the most part, this one just had Kid Buu and his movements. And I feel like out of all the villains, because technically I feel like Vegeta is a fighter, but they were never really, when they had the sort of Saiyan saga, it was never really a hand-to-hand combat because they were just kind of blasting each other.
Yeah. Ki was like the thing.
And Frieza's was just so like, oh, there's another transformation. That the actual fight itself got, bombarded. I think once they reached the cell and they started being able to animate with a lot more fight sequences, they really stepped their game up, because I believe that Goku versus Cell fight was very good as well. But this Kid Buu and Goku one just has a level of like fluidity to it. Just like one blow after one blow. There's close combats, there's blasts, there's them, Goku's trying to figure his way out of how the hell do you beat this elastic guy that's just like you punch him and it goes right through him. And Kid Buu is just like, how do I beat down this guy and have fun while I'm doing it? And it really becomes just like a battle of the minds in a sense, because Kid Buu is this kind of like fluid fighter. And you see at the end of this arc that, Goku gives him his props. Right when he's about to destroy him, he's like, man, I wish you could like, I wish you were still around so I could fight you.
Foreshadowing.
You're so damn good.
Yeah, some foreshadowing there.
But to me, it's really, really a fucking good fight, man. Like it's a barn burner.
We needed more of this though. Throughout this saga.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I mean,
the dialogue, the Dragon Ball fights are usually very dialogue heavy, and I think this one was too. But this one didn't sort of pertain to the fight. Most of the dialogue you would see was from like Supreme Kai and Dende on one planet. But I
like that. I like that. I prefer the fight to just be a fight, and then there's some other. Everybody else is tuned in. Yeah, right. Yeah. That's why the tournament did so well in Super.
I think so. As well. It was kind of like a fight that was just a fight, and you hint at Super. Yes, I mean the commentary, I believe, added layers of just like it just
fear, happiness,
and texture, and all that other stuff. But you just left the fight to the fight, and that's what I really sort of love about this thing. Goku and Vegeta, they want to say like, they're trying to decide who's going to fight who first, and Goku ends up winning. And Goku fights him as Super Saiyan 2, which is very, very interesting. And then, to me, the fight is going well, and he decides, hey, I'm going to go into Super Saiyan 3. And Super Saiyan 3, he might do actual worse than he did in Super Saiyan 2, which is blowing my mind.
Well, I think that was the moment Goku was like, yeah, I'm shelving this shit for a little bit.
Right.
Like, he's just like, I ain't.
Had to.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not going to use this much ever again. Like,
had to. Like, Super Saiyan, to me, the fight, and don't get me wrong, like, there are moments of the fight that are incredible. Mm-hmm. Like, I used to print, like I said, remember, I used to say this shit all the time. I would print out pictures and draw different sections of this fight because I love Kid Buu. I remember specifically drawing that moment where Goku elbows Kid Buu in the back of the head.
That picture's all over Google Images.
Listen, I remember drawing that. I drew that, and it came out great, in my opinion. As an 8-year-old.
Was you tracing? Were you tracing?
No, I was never. Fuck out of here. Draw from scratch. I was an artiste, my guy. Back in the day, I wanted to draw. That was my thing. I wanted to draw back in the day.
I was never an artist. I could draw like Gundams and go and like Super Saiyan hair, of course. There'd be times I'd be sitting in class and I'd do a whole page of just hair. Like
I still do that. Like, well, I don't have class anymore, but I would be in college and still drawing Super Saiyan on my sheet because I'm just bored. Like, fuck that. Nonetheless, we got a few good cameos during this, these final episodes of the arc, and you kind of got to. You get to watch the Hall of Haters, the losers, the people that everyone has killed, the villains, Frieza, King Cole, Cell, the Ginyu Force, and even Babidi's hating ass. It's just like sitting in the stand, watching this on pay-per-view, which is crazy. You know what? I feel like it's kind of messed up because it's kind of like they get to keep their bodies even though they're terrible villains. Yet, like civilians and regular people cannot keep their bodies.
That is actually that's a whole nother conversation. But yeah, you're right.
I've always been like dumbfounded by that. Like, yo, how do they get to keep their bodies? Like, out of all people, these people who have destroyed countless lives, and the reason why you're like filing people into this like check-in station, and they get to keep their bodies, and they're watching I'm sure it's THX surround sound,
living a second life.
High digital shit. They got like beautiful red bloody fountains and shit. It's just they're living their best life.
It's pretty unfair. You're right.
With halos and all that. Poor Deborah has been transformed into a more feminine figure. Meanwhile, it is what it is. But I love all the commentary.
Yeah, bro. That whole death death is. In the Dragon Ball Z universe, death is...
It's whatever.
It's whatever, exactly.
It's whatever.
You still get cameos when you're dead every now and then.
I love just, the cameos throughout this entire thing, and it wouldn't be the last time we see cameos in this. But from there, we transfer, Goku and Buu are still doing what it do in the ring, and Vegeta's forced to watch, and you kind of watch his demeanor starting to change in the last bit of episodes in this arc, especially how he becomes so instrumental in saving the Earth, which is crazy.
Do you think this was his? Do you think this was his turning point? Like I know that it was a build up. Like I know it's kind of hard also to pinpoint. Like when
right.
Vegeta kind of accepted, because
Well, this is the moment I feel like
this is it. Like this is when he was like, all right, we're kind of in this together, no matter what.
I feel like the build definitely started. I mean, they've always had like this respect for one another from the actual Saiyan fight.
Of course.
And then they went to Namek, and I think, Vegeta, for the first time, he's like, yo, this guy's legendary Super Saiyan. Like, this is crazy. Like, we've seen him for the first time.
Even was it still jealousy? It was still envy?
I think it was always jealousy. It was always just like, yo, he is this commoner. He is this low class, thing who has surpassed me, and I am from royalty. And I think he always kept that in his mind, that listen, there's no way that he's supposed to be the one that's stronger than me. I'm supposed to be the one that's strongest. Even though at no point ever in life was Vegeta the strongest being in any universe by any stretch of the imagination.
Jeez, Meelz, come on, man.
I'm sorry. It's just, it is what it is. Even when he was a kid, there was Frieza lurking around.
No, you have a point. You're right.
Goku had a heart attack. He was the strongest for about 5 minutes until Android 18 kicked his shoulder in. Like, it's a... you would think a lot more would have humbled Vegeta over the years, but maybe it was just like really a series of events that happened.
Just the fact that, think about it like this. Just the fact that Frieza blew up your whole planet on his own and killed off almost your entire race should humble you.
Mm.
I'm just, you know what I mean? Like one man.
I feel like maybe he always thought the strongest will survive no matter what.
So since he was alive, it didn't matter. Everybody else died.
Right. Since he was alive, it was obviously destined for him to be the strongest because he is the only remaining Saiyan left in his eyes besides Raditz and Nappa. But he was way stronger than those idiots. But
I wish one of them.
No one wishes back Raditz or Nappa.
Why didn't they get wished back? I have no idea.
No one wishes them back.
Do you think if they had a conversation like, hey, we'll bring you guys back, but like, no shenanigans. We're way stronger than you now.
I don't feel like they would ever wish back Raditz or Nappa. Like, it's just
Goku don't want his pops back.
Nah.
I wouldn't wish King Vegeta back because he's too much of a tyrant. But I guess Bardock, it'd be probably the same situation.
Yeah, I think it was. But been too long.
As a Saiyan, you think Goku ever lay in bed like that? I wonder if I could ever wish my mom and my pops back.
Nah, because he never knew who they were until now. Like, he didn't know he was an alien until like just now.
Yeah,
like,
he barely cares about his own.
And I don't even actually know if he knows truly about Bardock. Like, does Goku actually know about Bardock?
I don't think he does. No, I think he knows from the times that when Vegeta said your father or stuff like that.
I don't even think Vegeta knew Bardock.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think
I'm not sure. I'm not sure personally.
I don't think he knew Bardock either. I think Bardock was literally...
So he probably only knows what Raditz said to him when he came to Earth. That's got to be it then. So Raditz... But I don't even think... Well, no, Raditz did say his dad's name, I believe. We know Goku knows that Raditz is his brother,
right?
And he knows of his dad being some kind of warrior, but that's all we can really say.
But Vegeta's, this is the build up. You talk about that. We talk about the Frieza thing and him just having to watch Goku while he dies and stuff like that. We talk about the Cell Saga where Goku pretty much sacrifices himself to save Earth, which is like the most noble shit ever. That even made Vegeta question whether he was even worthy to continue fighting anymore.
Which that's a whole nother, bro. That's like, that tells you a lot, man.
It tells you a lot. Like, there was he's been waiting for Goku to come back. I think there's this sense of respect between them. But this was the first time where Vegeta's just like, you are stronger than me. he doesn't actually tell Goku that because because I would never do that.
He's not going to, yeah.
He's actually says like, "Yo, you are the better man."
Amazing. How do you do it, Kakarot? You've always been like this, ever since the day I first met you. Always ready to meet the next challenge, even if it's bigger than you are. So we meet at last. We have been expecting you, Kakarot. We were beginning to think you wouldn't show. Hopefully now things will get more interesting around here. How can this be happening? I am a super elite, the prince of all Saiyans. It was the same on Namek. You had improved so much that it made Raccoon look like he was standing still. Your power had increased so dramatically since our battle on Earth that I thought you had done it. I thought that you had become a Super Saiyan. It tore me apart. How could a low-class soldier accomplish so easily what I had struggled my whole life to achieve? Then at last it happened. I too transformed. After living every moment of every day for the singular purpose of surpassing you, I finally became a Super Saiyan myself. The prince had reclaimed his throne and fulfilled his destiny. But no matter how strong I became, your power still exceeded mine. At first, I thought it was your loved ones, that it was your instinct to protect them that spurred you on and pushed you beyond your limits. But then I found myself with a family of my own, and my power didn't increase at all. I used to fight for the sheer pleasure of it, for the thrill of the hunt. Oh, I had the strength unmeasurable. I spared no one. And yet, you showed mercy to everyone. Even your fiercest enemies. Even me. Yet you never fought to kill, nor for revenge. Only to test your limits, and to push yourself beyond them. To become the strongest you could possibly be. How can a Saiyan fight like that, and at the same time be so gentle that he wouldn't hurt a fly? Oh, it makes me angry just thinking about it. But perhaps it is my anger that has made me blind to the truth for so long. I see it now. This day has made it all too clear. You're better than me, Kakarot. You are the best.
I'm wondering why they put that in.
Because I feel like this is also the first time that this is the first saga that we know of Vegeta having any kind of family that he cares about.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they just wanted to make sure to confirm that, you know, he's changing, you know, to some extent.
Mm-hmm.
I think the full circle, I think this is as close to, you know, the beginning of full circle as possible. I think Super has a lot more, you know, Vegeta's personality shows a whole lot more in Super,
right.
Obviously. He's an entirely different man
mm-hmm.
by the end of that one. But you know what I mean? It's just they want to make sure people know he's in the middle of or at the end of a transition.
Right. This is the end of the transition. Everything coming full circle, as you said, like from the beginning when they both, you know, fought to now having to accept that fact. It's the transition of Vegeta. It is the new Vegeta. This is Vegeta moving forward, and it's kind of crazy. It only took him 280 episodes. Goku attempts to fight Buu, but he can no longer do it. Because his power is draining and he's getting his ass kicked. And he says that he needs 1 minute. Here's Dragon Ball with this fucking time shit again. He needs 1 minute to reach back to full power. And Vegeta says, if I can't last 1 minute, then I don't deserve to live, or some shit like that. And goddamn,
1 minute, huh? 1 minute for Goku to get all his power back.
Listen, that's what he said. He's like, if I could only just have 1 minute to charge up, I would be back.
I do think that's one of the issues with anime. That happens a lot. Like anime, they like with time constraints and like things happening previous or later where that 1 minute from another episode makes no sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like that stuff happens a lot. But I think it's so much to juggle and they just forget, you know.
Vegeta gets his ass kicked for the entire minute. The man, it is kind of sad to see it because it's clearly that I wouldn't say that they're doing a disservice to Vegeta by like having him get his ass kicked, because I just think just in terms of power, I don't think either. I think Goku's just playing a better warrior than Vegeta in terms of just like a thinking person that he can combat Kid Buu. But I don't think neither of them are actually that much stronger than Kid Buu, even though I think Goku is actually stronger than Vegeta. But Vegeta gets...
I agree. I think also, well, this is kind of like going real technical, but Kid Buu's fighting style is like, it's way more suited with Goku as well.
Right. Vegeta gets, I mean, he gets like, it's like hilariously clobbered if you're into that sort of thing, because like his eyes are bulging out of his head, he's getting blasted to smithereens. I think he turned Super Saiyan for a bit, but then it's like it doesn't last. He's really getting the shit kicked out of him. And quite honestly, it's not to me. I was like, "Yo, this is kind of sad. Like, this isn't fun anymore." Watching Vegeta,
it's sad to happen, man. They gave him his high moment. His high moment was Majin.
But it stinks, man, because the man literally stands no chance. No chance. Goku stood a little bit of a chance, but Vegeta just stood no chance.
Do you not enjoy that? Like, do you not? Because what you're saying, my issue with what you're saying is how much stronger is Goku than Vegeta right now? You know what I'm saying? Because basically what you're saying is the way he got his ass kicked was kind of like overly got his ass kicked. Like,
I think
damn, how much weaker is he?
Listen, we talked about this just a while back. Mm-hmm. They would never write Goku in that way. Never, we would never see Goku getting beat down to the extent. I mean, we've seen glimpses of it, but we would never see him getting like.
He always comes out the strongest being in the world right after, though.
We've seen Vegeta get clobbered by Android 18. I believe like Vegeta versus Frieza, that fight
that was pretty brutal.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal. Like we've seen this before, but we never see sort of Goku in this sort of situation. So it just kind of makes you think sometimes about, you know, where they're going with all of this. But Kid Buu's about to destroy Vegeta's his body, whatever it is, and Vegeta's already dead. So if he's gone, he's gone. He's not coming back. And Mr. Satan steps in, Hercule, who is on this planet. Everyone forgets. He's just.
Is he our MVP this year?
He might be the MVP of this.
I think Bulma got MVP. When do we get
Bulma got MVP of the Android Saga. I would think
that's right. Did we give it to Goku for Super?
For Super, we gave it to Android tournament? 17.
We did. I'm tripping.
Android 17,
18. So 17, and then Bulma.
And then Bulma. This one might be Hercule.
This one might be Hercule. He's done some work.
I don't know.
He has done some work.
Vegeta came up with a pretty, you know, he thought some things through, and we'll get into that. But Mr. Satan stepped in when Kid Buu was about to destroy Vegeta because he had some air of like hallucinations where he thought this was all a dream and that he could go in and just really bring it to Kid Buu. Right. But Kid Buu cannot bring himself to like strike Mr. Satan, which is weird. It's with that moment he literally spits out the old Majin Buu, the Fat Buu, as some people call him, or the Good Buu, or however you want to call him.
I call him Fat Buu.
Everyone calls him Fat Buu. He spits out the Fat Buu, and he's just lying there, and he's about to, you know, he's really about to, you know, end Mr. Satan's life, but Good Buu comes back into action. I thought this was a great moment.
Yeah, I was all for this. I mean, at that point, I was like, oh, he's about to be on this show. But of course, Z was ending, but you know.
Right. I thought it was a good moment simply because it was kind of like giving Buu a taste of its medicine. Mm. I also think it's continued to confuse and, add a lot more confusion to the fact of like, what is Kid Buu? Like, what is he his own separate being, or the fact that the original Buu that we saw and this Buu are completely two different Buu?
You see, and
that's
then,
what it kind of makes it seem like.
And then Uub doesn't help the situation.
Well, Uub is Kid Buu.
I know, but it's
this fat Buu and this Kid Buu is like, there's only supposed to be one Buu. So it's kind of like, if he spits him out and he has all the things that he's maintained from that, and Kid Buu is just here chilling, then what the hell is sort of...
I don't know, bro.
Which one is the real Buu? You kind of get what I'm saying? It's kind of like...
No, I definitely see.
There's only supposed to be one. Nonetheless, it's a fight I want to see, because I think, the good Buu is... He's a decent fighter when he's awake. He's a decent fighter.
He's still a Majin at the end of the day.
You know what? It's not so much a decent fighter. He is very interesting with his fighting techniques.
He has a crazy skill set.
He has a crazy skill set, crazy moves. He has sort of the same pros and cons that Kid Buu has, which is if you punch him, like, it's going to go right through him. So it's kind of like an even keel playing field, in a sense. While Vegeta's like can't feel his legs anymore and shit. We move to the next part, and Vegeta's got a plan, which is one of my reasons why maybe he's MVP of this entire arc, because it's kind of like he's the one who comes up with this incredibly thought out, like, he's been around them so much that now he's coming up with plans by himself and saving the Earth.
To help,
by himself. Vegeta says, listen, Kibito Kai, Dende, Old Kai, you guys need to go to Namek and get their Dragon Balls. I have 2 wishes. So the Namekians are now dragged into this. Shout out to them. They are alive. They are well. They are, not a destroyed race, even though they're a very depleted race at this point.
Doing the deeds of the Saiyans.
They are. Listen, the story come through. These are another set of cameos from the Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, man.
Like, it's another set of cameos. So they said, listen, it's time. We need to wish the Earth back. And they do. They wish the Earth back, and they wish all the inhabitants of the Earth back, and literally everyone is back from the morning of the World Tournament, or only at least the good guys in a sense, because Vegeta himself is given a new life, which is incredible.
Real quick, bro.
Mm-hmm.
I was just kind of looking over your notes real quick, and I did not notice that the farmer made a cameo.
The farmer, yeah. Listen,
that Raditz killed. I did not know that.
This isn't the first fucking farmer. This isn't the first time. I feel like it's the farmer. Don't get me wrong. This could be any
the same farmer. I'm gonna go back and check.
This could be any hick in the middle of the fucking street. But
if it's the same farmer from Raditz,
if you're from the era we're from, and you're like into Dragon Ball, like we're into Dragon Ball,
Easter eggs and stuff like that.
When we went back in the day and we used to Google all the power levels, literally the first 2 would come up, because it's by, it's by their entrance into the series. It would be Raditz, and then it would be Farmer with gun.
Farmer, yeah, that's just facts. I collected the cards. And I played the card game when I was younger, and the farmer, he had his own card as well.
His power level was 5. I remember that specifically. Raditz was 1200. This farmer was 5. I completely remember. But we're getting off from the point. But yes, the farmer. Shout to the farmer. I mean, so everyone switched back, including the farmer. And Vegeta says, listen, Goku, it's time for the Earth to save themselves. You need to use a spirit bomb. And Goku's like, wow, this is really thought out for like a Vegeta thing.
He's like, hold on, you want me to do what?
You could have just wished yourself to be stronger than Kid Buu and just really kind of swooped in and stolen the entire show. But instead, you have decided, listen, unselfishly, we're going to just, get back the inhabitants of Earth.
You know
and Goku's going to be the one to be able to handle this entire thing.
Vegeta may be Vegeta's rather the MVP or the people of Earth. One of the two.
I'm not giving it people of Earth, and you'll see why in a second. But Goku is generating one, but he can't get a lot of energy outside of just his friends. So King Kai is like, Vegeta, you've got to talk to the people. You've got to talk to the people. And Vegeta's literally talking to the inhabitants of Earth. And the Earthlings are like, I'm not giving my power to this guy in the sky. I can't even see him. We just, this fat guy just destroyed all of us. And now
you want me to just give up what we have?
You just want me to raise my hand and give up what we have for some pie in the sky dreams? I'm not doing that. I'm getting back to what I'm doing. Listen, I got work in the morning. Like, I don't got time.
I'm saying I was just dead for a little bit.
Right. It's just, so he's pleading. Vegeta's actually begging. He's actually pleading. But I think his tone of voice is just like, yo, it's kind of like, I wouldn't say it's as extreme as Bakugo in My Hero Academia.
I wouldn't say that either.
Literally just screams at people. But maybe it's a little bit too rough for these people to give it.
They just got back, man. They just got back. They were just dead, man.
So they says, listen, Vegeta's like, I'm gonna fight Buu for right now. You, Goku, handle talking to these motherfuckers. And Goku tries himself. And it helps a little bit. And we get to see a few cameos, again, from Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. I love the cameos in this because it is very clear Dragon Ball Z is ending.
Yeah.
And we're getting all the sort of throwbacks, and you get all the callbacks and stuff like that. We saw Upa and Boro.
That's the one thing we're not talking about. The fact that this is the end of Dragon Ball Z. What we're talking about.
You know what? We'll get to it at the end of this episode because I definitely do have a question.
I have a lot of questions.
We get Upa and Bora from Dragon Ball. Is the Native American family who was killed by General Tao. And then Goku sought after the Dragon Balls to wish, Upa's father back. So that was amazing. We saw Snow in Android 8. We saw Launch. We saw Nam from the first, world tournament. We saw the farmer from episode 1. We see a couple people. Like, we see people who are just like, I know that voice. It's Goku. Like, oh yeah, we can trust Goku, and he gets a little bit more power, but it's really not enough. And then, finally, as they're hearing it, and Vegeta's trying to plead again, but he's getting nowhere. Mr. Satan is like, yo, these people are so ungrateful. These people stink.
So he knows, once again.
Like, he's hearing all these voices, just like, I'm not doing that, blah, 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 blah. And he's just like, I can't believe these people. Like,
that's a good Satan voice, dude.
I got all the voices.
I think he's MVP, bro. I think Satan's got to get MVP.
Mr. Satan says, people of Earth.
Bro.
Oh my God.
They need to call you, man.
I am your hero, Mr. Satan, and blah, blah, blah. I'll skew you in the actual audio from here and there, so I won't embarrass myself even more. But the people are like, yo, it's the champ. It's the fucking champ, man.
Oh, they said this in the first place. If I was there, I would have been like, whoa, let's let Hercule do it. All he does is talk.
Yeah. Listen,
for real.
It's the champ. So they're like, oh my God, I gotta put my hands up. Like, it's the champ. Like, what the?
Hey, what are you waiting for? Or do you not care what happens to the entire universe? Dumbasses! What did you just call us? Dumbasses?
That's the way to talk to people when asking for help.
Just ignore that guy.
I'm starting to think that maybe that whole Majin Buu business never really happened.
That's right. It's entirely possible that we could have all just been subjected to mass hypnosis. I think I heard about that on the television.
Why? You ignorant oafs! Now that's enough out of you! Quit yapping and start helping! Or would you dare ignore the request of the great Mr. Satan?
Mr. Satan! Didn't you hear, Mom? That was Mr. Satan's voice just now.
Really? Are you certain?
Huh? Mr. Satan? Whoa, I think that really was Mr. Satan we heard, bro.
What is going on here?
It's really him! It's Mr. Satan! Wait a minute! You mean to tell me that the one who's been fighting Majin Buu all this time is Mr. Satan?
I'm sure it's him! It has to be!
It's our hero, Mr. Satan! Yeah, that's right! I wasn't gonna say anything, but now it seems my secret's out. I'm kind of in the middle of defeating Majin Buu right now, so the sooner you send your energy, the better! Hey, what other choice do we have? My fans would never believe that I'm not the one who's saving the day here. And after all, isn't stopping Buu the #1 priority right now?
It's him! It's really him, guys! That voice belongs to Mr. Satan!
Well, underestimated you, Mr. Satan.
Now that's more like it! Yeah!
Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah! Oh, yeah!
So everyone puts their hands up, and their energy is coming, and the energy is
That's
here.
a dub.
It shows up. It comes like I don't know. It was just some white shit on the screen that was floating through space. I just remember that.
That's what it always is. Little sparkles.
And it comes, and the ball just like grows like 18 million sizes, and they're like, "Yo, this is incredible." The entire world, the billions. How many people do you think is on Earth right now? I'm giving you a guess. Don't Google.
You talking about Dragon Ball World?
No, I'm talking about just
right
the population
now?
of Earth.
No, I'm not gonna Google it. I'm gonna go. Shit, man. I'm gonna go 12 billion.
Okay.
What is
the Earth population as of 2016? The last time they did,
I guess because they won't vote again until 2020, I think.
7.6 billion.
Oh, I was a little over, but
but I feel we'll get there. We'll get there.
Yeah.
I'll do my
good
part.
thing.
I'll do my part.
Yeah.
But it is billions of people at this point.
Yeah,
they've all given their energy, and it's here. And
that spirit bomb is big.
And we're in charge, and it's time. It's time to throw the spirit bomb. But if you get this nice little, you know what? This is probably my favorite moment of the arc.
You think so? Why?
Goku is like, I gotta throw the spirit bomb, and Vegeta's just like, he's down, he can't move, and he's just like, throw the stupid spirit bomb, and Goku's like, no, you've done too much part of this plan for me to just kill you too. Like, even though Vegeta's just like, yo, we got more Dragon Ball wishes, like whatever, like if I'm dead, it's like, ooh. So, it's just like, yo, throw the bomb, and Goku's like, no, I can't. Like, I can't. And Kid Buu's seeing like this exchange, and he's like looking at Goku, and he's looking at Vegeta, and he's looking at Goku, and he's looking at Vegeta. And then I feel like he puts his middle finger up and just starts walking towards Vegeta.
Yeah.
And like puts his foot on his back, and it's just like, oh, you're not going to hit me because I am blocking him. You would have to kill him too. So he's kind of putting 2 and 2 together, and he's kind of like, I thought it was a very.
I love how the Majin Buus and their their way of learning things during battle that they have nothing about. They knew nothing about. Yeah.
And they're just like, yo, he can't. So he's just like, you a sucker. You're not going to kill him because you can't kill him. Because if you kill him, like, if you try to kill me, you're going to kill him.
You're going to kill him. And I know you're not going to do that.
So you're not going to throw it. So he just stands there. Now he's like blasting Goku's, like blasting him in the nuts and all this other shit. And eventually, you know, the good Buu tackles Kid Buu. Comes out of nowhere. It's a very Disney moment, in my opinion.
Yeah, was this your Vegeta hitting Cell while Gohan's trying to?
Oh yeah.
Yes, the equivalent.
This was that for me. His Buu just came out of nowhere and just tackles Kid Buu and smothers him because he's so large and fat. And he screams at Mr. Satan to save Vegeta, and Mr. Satan saves Vegeta. Imagine that!
Wow.
He picks him up over his shoulder and he runs across the entire planet or wherever he did, and he saved Vegeta, which is incredible. To me, it's incredible just to watch that moment. And then Goku says, "We're throwing the Spirit Bomb." Literally, the Spirit Bomb has killed no one up to this point.
It's a very okay.
It has killed no one.
Listen. I'm going to show some respect to the Spirit Bomb because it is it's very risky.
But you can't show respect because it literally
I have to, bro. It's very risky and it's very slow.
Okay.
And if he does anything wrong, he can destroy the planet.
I don't buy the Spirit Bomb.
You don't remember all the times where, you know, they've had Kamehamehas strong. Remember when Goku's, I think this is right before or when he does the instant transmission and he's like aiming it, they're like, if you do it this way, you're going to destroy the earth.
Yes.
And Goku instant transmissions instead. Like, it's a Spirit Bomb, bro. Sometimes it's just as big as another planet. They'll show it from the top and it's like the same size as Earth.
I don't buy it.
You're not with the Spirit Bomb, so you're not giving the people MVP just off the fact the Spirit Bomb is trash.
The Spirit Bomb, no, it's not this one actually kills a person. It's just the fact that the Spirit Bomb,
strong person,
essentially has. I mean, let's look at the record of the Spirit Bomb. Unless you're talking about movies, then the Spirit Bomb, you know, doesn't really.
Well, I don't want to talk about movies because,
let's see.
I prefer the mini Spirit Bombs.
Spirit Bomb, I mean, that mini Spirit Bomb was pretty tough. It has, I want to say, like a 2 for 5 success rate. If you count GT, if you're not counting GT as 1 for 4.
It's a difficult move, man. Difficult move to land. It takes time. It's huge. It's slow.
Why am I wasting my time building this up if it doesn't kill anybody?
No, I mean, I hear you, man. I guess it's one of those last resort. I guess they want to show
Vegeta got hit by it. Vegeta got hit by it. My man, his body shook a little bit, but he was still like, you know, he was still able to grab, you know, move to the ship. It did not kill Frieza. Boy, that was a huge L, major L. Did not kill Frieza.
I guess that's fair.
Fucking Jiren smacks that shit away like a soccer ball, like a fucking beach ball.
Well, now, look, we can confirm that the evil containment is better than the Spirit Bomb at this point. Are you with that?
I like it.
I like evil containment a lot.
I love evil containment wave. Listen, anybody does the evil containment wave.
Top five move, guys.
It's incredible. Mafuba, come on. Let's do this. Listen, anyone who mentions evil containment wave around me I instantly pop. Like
You're right.
That's how I know you're like part of the culture, the Dragon Ball culture.
That's real.
That's an amazing thing. And when they brought it back in Super, I thought that was
man, we
more than once
we gushed over that moment too.
More than once.
About it, so.
My God. Anyway, Spirit Bomb almost does not kill Kid Buu because Kid Buu catches it.
Mm-hmm.
And then it becomes this battle of like, can Kid Buu outlast this? Can Goku actually finish him off? And they're having this battle, and Goku's like, I'm all out of strength, man. Like, I can't do this. Like, he's going to win, and everyone's just like, oh my God, I can't believe he's going to win. It's this very intense sort of exchange, where everything is on the line, but Goku can't, you know, put it together to win. Quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think if Kid Buu smacked the Spirit Bomb back at Goku, he would have transformed into Ultra Instinct like 5 years earlier than he would have? No. All right.
I think Goku was dead. I think
I don't think he can kill anyone with a pure soul.
Oh, you're right. In Budokai 2, Kid Buu's finisher, he throws a big death ball, and then he shoots a Kamehameha at the death ball as you're trying to hold it, and then the world explodes. But look, man, if Kid Buu throws that back at Goku, I mean, obviously, if it wouldn't destroy Goku because
it's the same. It would
just be a waste. They'd be figuring out what's next.
It is the same sort of situation he was in the Tournament of Power, where it's just like, oh shit, how can I hold on to this? And then Goku ends up like getting trapped in it or whatever doohickey explanation they gave for him turning Ultra Instinct. But it would have been an interesting thing, I'll tell you that.
Another reason why Spirit Bomb's not all that is he also has to be in base form to do it.
Only in base form, because he does not have a pure heart when he is in Super Saiyan form. To create it, at least. I mean, it's true. I mean,
no, that's a crazy rule, but yeah, it is real.
They want to give something
when you
to
turn Super Saiyan, you're not pure-hearted?
No.
Even though you're a Super Saiyan, you're
no. Because I believe you turn Super Saiyan. I feel like there's
what happens if he's in God? He's not a pure heart in God?
I feel like he's more divine than actual
I guess because so the move comes from godly. The people.
It comes from that.
I get it.
It comes from that. It comes from good intentions. That's what it comes from.
Right. Krillin can do it, right? So.
Krillin can hold it. He's got good intention. For now. I don't think he can hold it anymore. My man has done some risky things. Yeah. Anyway, they have one more wish. Because Shenron is standing there in front of him as they're trying to watch this fight. Is it
Namekian? Is it a Namekian dragon?
Yes, it's the Namekian dragon. Yeah. Shenron. So, besides the fact there's this giant dragon standing in front of people, they remember they have one more wish.
Shenron watching.
And they use that one more wish to revive Goku's strength, which I thought, okay.
Clutch wish. It's like the most simple thing you could have figured out to get this to work out for you.
No, in my opinion, kind of anticlimactic.
It is. It's a little bit. How can we win this real quick?
From the standpoint of like, it didn't push Goku to like a new form or new edge or something. It was kind of like, oh, we'll heal him, and that's how he'll win. And then but maybe sometimes it's just that. But I kind of anticlimactic.
So basically, they had intentions of ending Dragon Ball Z with Super Saiyan 3 being lackluster, Vegeta only peaking at Majin, and Gohan then only peaking at Mystic.
Yes, this was all about Goku. He was like, in case you forgot, this is about Goku. Goku turns Super Saiyan, and he sends his Spirit Bomb right back at Kid Buu, and Kid Buu, great final sequence of his entire body getting like destroyed, kind of like Thanos style, it's just like it splits into particles, and then the particles
they have to
split
show
into
it.
more
That's
particles.
how you know the villain he's really gone. They did it for Cell too. It's like when they show like the last cell exploding.
Listen, we didn't see fucking Frieza's body, disintegrate into space. That's how we knew. Frieza never dead, never lost.
Dragon Ball Z will always make sure in the explosion that they are gone. Cell was the first time when Cell first died, and they kind of show him disintegrating. That was the first time that they kind of like threw a curveball when he came back, but then of course the last one they show his last cell explodes, and you're like, oh, he's really gone now.
Adios. I'll be waiting for you, Majin Buu! Goku! Kakarot! Power! Goku! it's over.
Man, Kid Buu's dead. Even though, as he's destroying Kid Buu, Goku's just like, oh man, this was a great fight.
Yeah.
I wish you were great. I wish you were a good guy and back on Earth, we could do this again.
Yeah, yeah.
But until the next time, and then like Wiz Khalifa "See You Again" comes on, and he destroys Goku. I mean, he destroys Kid Buu, and Kid Buu's gone forever.
Yeah.
Rating. How do you rate this this final battle ending compared to like other? I don't know. Have you
it's
seen
okay, man. I think Kid Buu, I put him,
the demise of Kid Buu
he's
compared to like other things.
Buu to me, or Kid, I'll just say Kid Buu because you know what I mean when I say this. But to me, he lands at rank 3 after Frieza and Cell. I mean,
they really destroyed Frieza. I think they managed to actually. Who killed Frieza?
Frieza's number 1 to me. Frieza's number 1 to me. Although
now, which time when they killed Frieza?
Well, Frieza's best death is Trunks.
100%.
That's just my opinion, but like, Frieza's the number 1 villain in Dragon Ball Z history.
Because I didn't like that whole like Resurrection F thing where they like went back in time.
I'm not really. I didn't really care for that too much either.
But yeah, it's a definite one with Trunks. You know what? In terms of deaths, I like the Trunks one.
Yeah,
I thought the Cell one was incredible.
The Trunks one was so great because they waited first of all, Frieza Saga was so long and he didn't even die, and the fact that Trunks did it in 10 minutes, 15 minutes was kind of dope as a kid. I was watching, I was like, oh shit, Trunks is that nigga. You
know what? Let's talk about this for a second. The death of King Piccolo. How do you feel about that one? The man Goku launches himself in the air.
Oh, I mean,
the fist through his entire fucking body.
That was one of the most amazing moments.
There was a good build to that moment.
I know Piccolo's he's been a good guy for so long that I kind of, how you just forget about like how evil. Well, obviously he was a different demon at that point, but you know what I mean. It was just like you forget because he's done so much good in Z.
King Piccolo to me, I think King Piccolo is like one of the top villains for me. That dude was pure evil.
Is he coming before Cell for you? Well, we're talking about Z and Ball, but
shoot, before Cell.
Cell is 2 to me, man. Like
Cell,
he's like
King Piccolo was pretty fucking evil, man.
Well, I know, but I'm saying what when if you're ranking
villains,
ranking villains in Dragon Ball.
We should save that for another episode.
We should. Bro.
Why are we doing this now?
We should, bro, because that's a good conversation.
Content.
Yeah. We'll get back to you guys on that.
Hashtag content. Kid Buu's destroyed, and let's look at the aftermath of everything because we've got a few more episodes in Dragon Ball Z. They decided not to end it right there for some whatever reason, but let's see. After that, this is all the post-credit stuff. Vegeta tries to kill the Fat Buu. He's like, step aside. I'm going to kill him.
He wanted to get that late minute dub in.
Listen, he did that shit when he killed Berter and
he did, bro.
When he like kneed one of the people in his chest and then he like destroyed Raccoon entirely. Yes. And I was like, listen.
He just wanted to get that real quick. He wanted to get that dub, dude. That's just so selfish, bro.
That was incredible. My man came down with the hardest of knees in his throat, and then like blew Raccoon into like space. Man. And I was just like, bruh. And Goku's like, you didn't have to do that, bro. They see Good Buu. He's like either on life support, has not had enough chocolate. He is going to, some sort of shock or whatever he is. But Vegeta almost kills him, and Goku says, listen, let's keep him alive, my guy. He was, if anyone saved you from getting your ass kicked, it's this guy. And Vegeta's just like,
yeah, like, come on, you gotta be kidding me, man.
Listen,
Let me get this dub.
If I was evil, he would have been over with. So that happens. Everyone goes back to the lookout, which I thought was an incredible moment, a little heartwarming moment.
They men in black planet Earth, the people of Earth.
They did that. Everyone's alive, so that's an interesting thing at the end of Z. They decided if the Z ended with the Cell Saga, Goku would have been dead. It would have been a little different, but everyone's alive. Everyone's alive. They end with a sort of happy ending to Dragon Ball.
Goku alive doesn't mean he's there.
Well,
remember that
100% because it's true. Literally, he's never there.
He's never there.
Is the story of the next few episodes because they have a party to celebrate. That episode I didn't watch. I think it's one of the worst. It was one of
I didn't watch it for this, but I've seen it a few times.
To me, it's not a good filler episode. Quite honestly. Where they're all having a party and Goku's not there and everyone's bummed out because Goku's not there and Chi-Chi's just like, I'm about to divorce this nigga.
It's really I could have did without that.
I could have 100% did without it. But
it's like, why are you ending Z like this?
We really end Z with 10 years after. Is it 10 years?
I think it's 10 years down the line at at one of the tournaments.
It's 10 years down the line at the World Martial Arts Tournament, and they come back and there's like older Goten fighting Goku, and Goku's like in a blue G right now.
Yeah,
and
I love the blue G.
Bulma and Vegeta show up, and Vegeta's dressed like the cool dad, and he's just like, "Listen, I haven't seen you in years. I heard you're fighting in the tournament, and yeah, everyone's fighting in the tournament." So that's how their life is going. But really, this end part is just to establish Pan.
Yeah, Pan and
Uub.
And Uub. Yeah.
And Uub becomes a thing. Uub is... I forget who tells Goku that Uub is the reincarnation of Buu. But
I thought Piccolo did.
Oh, okay. I forgot. I didn't watch the episode recently. I think it was Piccolo. Uub is the reincarnation of Buu. So Goku's kind of wish that he made, the wish that wasn't supposed to happen, but it ended up happening, is there, and he, you get Uub. You get Uub. I can't do a character analysis on Uub other than he's a kid who doesn't really know what he's going into, but he's there and he's incredibly strong.
He apparently has a lot of potential.
He is the strongest Earthling they have ever seen, ever,
right?
Ever in history. Because Vegeta's just like, I can't believe their Earthlings is strong. Like,
and honestly, what you're saying right now is important because I want everybody to remember what you just said, so that they can remember this from the Buu Saga, because this is going to come up again in Super at some point. Him being the strongest Earthling that they've ever seen is important, and I think it's still going to be important even in Super.
He's the strongest Earthling. He puts up a good fight against Goku, and then Goku decides, listen, I don't know why
I absolutely hate this part.
Goku says, why are we fighting in this tournament? You know what we should do? We should go off and train, because I want to train you to be the next protector of Earth. Forget his sons.
Bro.
Forget all the other strong people in this corner. He says, you're the man. And I'm going off.
I talked to you about this before, Meelz.
What's up?
I understand. Can they not emphasize family even a little bit for him?
No. Goku doesn't care about family. He cares about fighting.
This man Goku they're on the stage with Uub, and Goku flies over and he's like, "Hey, I'm about to go train with this guy. I don't know when I'm going to be back."
And everyone's could
be a long time.
What? What's fucking what? Huh? And he just leaves. He grabs Uub, who can't fly, so he literally puts him on his back and he flies off. Leaves. He just leaves, and that's the end of Z. It's literally the end of Z. Like, the end of Z is both of them laughing happily because they have escaped their families and they're going to go fight. So that's the end of Z.
That's the end of Z, guys.
Let's see. That's the end of Z. All right, so here's the thing.
Yeah.
These last couple episodes with the tournament and stuff, do you feel like these episodes, and there's probably an answer to this, but I don't know who has ever asked
I'm gonna
Toriyama
give you
about
an
this.
answer. I think I know what you're about to ask.
Two questions.
Mm-hmm.
First one, because I have the question that I wrote on here, but I have another question.
Yeah.
Do you think they purposely made these episodes because GT was coming, and these episodes were solely designed for GT?
I'm almost for sure that's the reason, because Uub has basically been rewritten in Super.
Mm-hmm.
We have at least some kind of proof of that through the manga, and through the anime. It's mentioned a little bit in the anime. So Goku has no idea who Uub is until he's told in Super, which means this didn't happen because Super is a, it's a continuous of Z.
Right.
So I think it was just done for GT, and it's also proof that yes, they are absolutely done with GT.
This was so in Japan. The final episode of, hold on, let's see. I'm trying to pull up the actual episode. I had the episode on here a couple while ago. Let me see. The actual episode of Dragon Ball Z ended sometime in late January 1996. I'll pull up the actual date at some point. But the final episode, the beginning of GT, literally starts about less than 2 weeks later.
Yeah.
I think everything from...
that makes sense.
I think everything from Goku's New G... the last episode of Dragon Ball Z aired in Japan January 31st, 1996.
Okay.
The beginning of GT started. I've never actually searched up GT because I would never want to see this again. So this will be a first time.
We're gonna watch it again.
The first episode starts literally a week later, February 7th, 1996. So I think literally everything from the establishment of there's an older Trunks, there's an older Goten, and there's older, Pan, and there's Pan in this because Pan is a major part of GT.
Yep.
Uub, GT, Goku's new outfit, GT. It's just everything.
It was definitely done for GT. They ignored this episode going into Super.
Yeah, because these episodes were kind of promo for GT. I want to see. Man. Let's see if I can find out who produced these episodes. This would make a whole lot of more sense.
So are you thinking maybe those are technically GT episodes?
These are technically GT episodes, in my opinion. I would say, is like promo for GT.
Right. Like a GT pilot.
Right.
Almost.
It's kind of like, all right, so this is kind of what we're going to understand for this episode. And it's supposed to like ease you in. Given the popularity of Dragon Ball Z, ease you into watching GT.
Right.
But okay, we got new characters, we got new clothes, we got new energy, all this other things. It's interesting. But yes, my next question was, with these episodes, these final episodes, and you've already answered it in a sense, but yeah, does Super change all of this? Do these final 3 episodes in Z matter when it comes to Super?
It confirms what you're saying about that was basically for GT. These episodes really have no meaning for Super.
But so in a sense, Pan is still there. Pan is now in Super, and she's a part of Super, even though it's kind of like baby form, because this is a few years before Super takes place, years before this episode would have taken place in the whole Dragon Ball Z sort of, structure.
The family tree is there. The family tree is intact in Super. They just decided to move forward with.
And Uub is mentioned.
And Uub is mentioned, but not a lot. Not a lot. Although, again, man, I'm sticking to the fact I still think 17 is raising him. I'm going with it, bro.
It's supposed to be a family. It's supposed to be some family in the woods type of thing.
I saw the manga too, but also, Dragon Ball Z is weird and Super is weird, and I think there's a chance. I think they could tie it all in really nicely with Uub being around Goten and Trunks a lot. doing the Ranger stuff. I think they could tie it in so well because of the age. You know what I'm saying? So,
Well, if Uub came to Super, Uub would be even younger than he would be when he was fighting Goku, which would be incredibly long. He would probably be around Gohan's age when he started.
well, no, you're probably
Super
right.
Z.
When they show the picture of him in the manga, he definitely looks a little younger than he was at the end of Z, but he still looks like, because in Super they say, I believe Goku's he's basically rounding up people to join the tournament,
Right.
and
he has a conversation with
Dende, right? Yeah, and Dende's kind of like, I have a guy, but he's way too young.
There's this kid in the woods who's extra strong and blah 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 blah. But I think, let's see if I could pull it up.
He just says he's too young, but he has so much potential, unlocked potential, or something like that.
Right.
And Goku has no idea. Like, now, well, damn, dude. Do you think? No, you're right. I mean, this Uub has to just be. I like that episode of Z doesn't matter. You're right. It doesn't matter.
I think this part of Super,
when it comes to Super,
because this part in sort of Super, and the one that you're talking about is this entire exchange between Dende and Goku on the flying fucking lookout, which is like, oh, that shit moves.
Yeah. Now in the manga, that conversation they show a bubble of Uub, and he has another baby on his back, like he's carrying another kid on his back.
Really?
Yeah, like a brother or sister or some kid.
Let me see. I gotta look this up.
Yeah, look it up. It's like a little bubble, and it's the same setting, I believe. I believe it's the same setting.
I do see this, yeah.
But it's just they actually show Uub as in picture form, though.
So, do we believe that Uub maybe has a role?
He's there. I think Uub is going to be at some point some importance. They wouldn't mention the fact that he's too young and he has so much potential, and I think there's obviously something there that they want to see what's up with it. So maybe his story's not over. I'm sure he's going to come up in Super. I just don't know how. I hope it's the way that I believe.
I don't know if he comes up in Super. This is
I
very.
think he is, bro. I think he's gonna come up in Super, bro. I think he is.
Because if he comes up in Super, well, yes. If the stipulations, if he comes up in Super, it kind of ignores everything that sort of happened in these last episodes of Dragon Ball Z. So it makes you wonder.
They don't have to necessarily.
I mean, yeah.
He's obviously going to be like, okay. So my thing is, how do they tie it in with talking about Kid Buu or even talking about Z? Like, why is he if he has all this potential?
They say in the anime that he is a reincarnation of Kid Buu.
Oh, okay. I couldn't remember that. Okay,
yeah. They say, I just watched it.
So that's still confirmed. Okay,
yes.
Good. I couldn't remember if that was said or he was just some strong kid that was named Uub. And okay,
but interesting.
Is Dende responsible for putting him where he is?
What do you mean?
Do they mention why he is where he is, or is Dende just watching over him?
Yeah, I think Dende's just watching over him. I think as the guardian.
That's right. Dende does say it's his responsibility to watch over strong beings or something like that.
So if Uub is in the series, it's kind of like, where does he go forward? Because I think Dragon Ball GT he's already got this narrative around him in GT because he's already like not as important as everybody else by the end of GT. He starts off his own sort of person. He fuses with Fat Buu. He becomes, Mega Uub or whatever the hell it is. And then he kind of just dips off completely after that. Like, it's not even he's not a factor.
I think his role would be big because I think he's still going to end up being the strongest human that we've seen. And I think that has to be portrayed properly because obviously.
Should they make a movie about Uub?
Well, but just listen, because think about it. Krillin, human. Tien is human?
Yeah, he's human. He's just
Yamcha, human.
Had his third eye unlocked.
Right. But Roshi, human. But there's these things that the one thing that we haven't seen was like a human pushed to real limits of doing something successful.
Right.
You know, not getting beat up for one reason or being a support character because they're human. Like the fact that they have stated, even if it was Z and maybe it was episodes leading into GT, Uub is the strongest, you know, just plain human that we've seen. Although he's reincarnated from the Majin. I just think that they definitely need to touch back on that because he's an interesting character. He looks cool. He's just human.
He's an interesting character, depending on like how they want to go with the
they
story.
They got to give him a story. Yeah, they got to give him a story. Like it has to work out.
Because
they have to support him. They got to support him for it to work.
GT didn't have much of a story outside of he was trained by Goku and now he knows how to fight. Mm-hmm. And then he kind of just did his own thing until he was calling a call back because the entire series was about Goku being a kid and blah blah blah.
Sure. I just don't think they bring that up in you know in canon for whatever reason. You know what I'm saying?
I would like to see Uub somehow be intertwined with the development as well of Goten and Trunks.
Yeah, bro, listen, they need to... I need to get in the war room. I need to get in the writer's room, bro. He needs to be... 17,
what if he shows up at the end of the Broly movie? No, I'm kidding.
I know, right? 17 needs to be his guardian, and it will just work perfect because all they have to do is have 17, have Goten and Trunks working with 17 on his ranch, and him, Uub, and them three are just some new fun trio, but Uub has all this potential. I mean, it would just work perfect. It's asking to be made like that. It's perfect. They can easily do it. Nobody's gonna question it. They'll be like, "Oh shit!" I told you the part, 17 showing Goku his kids and Goku and them not showing it on the screen. And I don't know if that was just a small like you don't need to see who they are, but the fact that 17 brings up his kids and his wife on way more than one occasion. He talks about it in the tournament, and he talks about it when Goku's trying to recruit him. And I just don't think they bring stuff up like they don't. I mean, they're pretty good with family. They do family stuff a good bit. And if they're going to tie Uub in, I think that'd be the best way to tie him in, although I think he's coming into the series no matter what in some way. It just depends on his impact and how important it is. Because it may not be an important impact. It could just be, hey, another strong human who is a support character. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Give him a movie, man. Give him a movie.
Give him a movie at this point. Or at least it's just a series. It's just something, man. 60-minute episode, something. Just like, I think 3-part episode. But I think something needs to be done with Uub when it comes to Super. Because he's a factor. He's done something, man. Yeah, man. Listen, this has been the fucking season finale.
Yeah.
We're done with the Buu Saga.
Wow.
We've wrapped it up in a tiny, neat bow and all of that stuff.
The best way possible to talk about
leaving with questions.
Buu Saga.
You're leaving with questions. What the hell is Uub? How do we do Uub in the future? Listen, we will be around for the foreseeable future.
We'll be around.
We'll definitely
be around.
We've got other podcasts on RNC Radio. We're going to be looking at the movies. We may go back and do episodes on movies. We may come back and do special emergency episodes when there's trailers back. But this has been the finale of The Lookout, season 3 finale. Listen, you guys voted for it, the Buu Saga. We did it. Thank you guys for voting. Thank you guys for, contributing to this. I had slightly better time watching these last couple things. You know what? I had a much better time doing these episodes than I did probably watching it.
Yeah, well, after Majin Vegeta, I can coast. Mm-hmm. It's just getting up to that point is a little tough. So.
But until then, Jeff, is there any final words you have to say about anything?
Man, I'm really excited for the new Broly movie. I hope Super's back in a good time span that we kind of talked about. RSPN's coming back in a few weeks. Yeah, man. Shit, dude. It's been great. been great.
We have a bunch of new podcasts, a bunch of new playlists, a bunch of new everything on RNC. You can stay tuned to all of that by following RNC Radio Live on Twitter. I don't really have to tell you how much podcasts and episodes that we do. You can check all of it out right there. You can continue to look out for the more news on the lookout by following RNC Radio Live, or following myself at Meelz TV, or following Jeff at Old Newsboy on Twitter.
Hey, and I don't know if Mac Miller was a Dragon Ball Z fan, but I'd like to dedicate this episode to him, though, because everybody has just been like, you know, I mean, I've seen him, you know, when people pass away and you show your respects, but man, like he gets so much respect from all the top dogs, legends, newcomers. So his impact was obviously there. So yeah, man, rest in peace.
This episode has been dedicated to the life of Mac Miller, Malcolm McCormick. You are an amazing being. Thank you for the energy. Thank you for the times. Thank you for the music. Thank you for the artistry. We will be back with season 4 of The Lookout. We'll be back with a whole bunch of new stuff. And maybe a few emergency pods in between them, but we will be back. This has been episode 22 of The Lookout. We're out.